Hey, on the 11th day of Christmas, Eerie Arachnids gets to the 11 Brachypelmapalooza.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the 12 Days of Christmas here at Eerie Arachnids. We are on day 11, so what I'm going to give to you today is 11 different Brachypelma species, but more than 11 Brachypelmas. I think you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 extra, so there's 15 I think total. But there is definitely 11 different species of Brachypelmas here at Eerie Arachnids. The first one that we have here, which who knows how much longer we'll have him. I'm hoping that at the beginning of the year I can get him sent out to someone that has a female that we can get him bred with. I know someone has a female. We're just trying to figure out if we definitely want to do it or not. You stay in there, mister. He's feisty. Always has been. He doesn't like his water dish, even though we're going to fill it up, even though he doesn't like it. But he has always been a little bit triggered here. There's a little bit of watering noise for you, if you can hear it. So, yeah, so that's our first one of the 11 different species of Brachypelmas here on day 11 of the 12 Days of Christmas. So we'll move on to the next one. I was going to do them alphabetically, but I decided just to grab them as will, because they're all out here. I'm doing this in the kitchen because I'm on vacation. My wife's at work until 11:30, so I wanted to get this film done and everybody put back away before she gets home and realizes there's spiders in her kitchen. So let's move on. Okay, next up, as you can see, we have a beginning of pre-molt Brachypelma Emilia. This will be the last molt that this one has in this enclosure. We will move this one up to a mini football display or helmet display case after this one molts. Don't know the sex of this one yet. I'm praying that it's female because I did send my male, my larger male away. This is my favorite Brachypelma species, the Emilia. Homori's right up there as well, Schroderi, classy. There's a lot of them that I just absolutely enjoy, but this one was the one that's always captivated me as far as Brachypelmas is concerned. So there you go. The second species of Brachypelma here at Eerie Arachnids is Brachypelma Emilia. Okay, if you see that little dot right there, darkening in the abdomen, this is the Brachypelma smithy. This is supposed to be a true smithy, so the ones in the hobby before that we all said were smithy, but most of them were actually Homori. There are still Brachypelma smithy in the hobby. Remember, Brachypelma smithy did not change to Brachypelma Homori, so I hope people will finally get that through their heads. Brachypelma Homori has been a recognized species since 1997. It just hasn't been a recognized species here in the hobby because we didn't really know that we had them here. We thought we had all Brachypelma smithy. Once Jorge did his papers, we realized that the bulk of the tarantulas that we know as red knees here in the hobby are actually Brachypelma Homori. But there were still and still are some Brachypelma smithy in the hobby, strewn through those collections. So definitely there are Brachypelma smithy still around, and hopefully this is definitely one of them. Okay, this one's being a tad bit stubborn. This is my Brachypelma auratum. For all intents and purposes, I do believe that this is the largest of the Brachypelma, the darkest. They get basically more black than anything else, and they have those nice red colorations on their legs, but they're very, very small, not like red long parts or knees or tibia or fibula or anything like that. This is basically just red on the knee a little bit, and these are called the Mexican flame knee. So a wonderful, wonderful species. I was absolutely thrilled to pick this one up. Let's see if we can get it to come out. Hopefully it will just, there it is. Another one that's closing in on pre-molt. Both the Emilia and this one ate yesterday. or the day before, one or the other, I can't remember. So they've eaten recently, but they are closing in on that part where we're going to get molt out of this one. This next molt, hopefully we'll get some darkening, because we're still a brown spider, as you can see, on our wood grain table here. I was going to put something down below, but I decided not to. But yeah, Brachypelmapalooza. That's what, the 4th species here so far that we've gone through. We've gone through Amelia, Sabulosum, Aratum, and the little tiny Smithy. So we'll move on to the 5th one. Okay, so this is another one that's in pre-molt. You can't see him or her. This one's actually, we do believe, is a female. This is the Brachypelmaclassy enclosure. She or he's been out quite a bit lately, but you can see, I just actually filled that water dish up, the one that's underneath there, yesterday. And you can see where it's at now. It was actually in the corner here. I try to keep water with this one a little bit more because it does seem to, I've seen this one drink more than any of my other Brachypelmas, so I do try to make sure that this one has water, but a lot of times it likes to get rid of it. You can see a flipped water dish and a kidnapped water dish there. Where the spider is, got me. She's got a little burrow that goes down through here, but she's underneath that wood right now, probably back in this area over in here. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see her today. Actually, she's right behind that water dish hiding. So, yeah, she's off to the right. But this is the 5th species of Brachypelma that we have here. If I get an opportunity to film her before I put everybody away and get this film uploaded, I will throw some pictures towards the end. Okay, so the next, this is number 5, is the, or number 6, Brachypelmapalooza. This is the female that I actually got it yesterday. I'm filming this the day after I got her, but it's not, the video is not uploading, of course, until the 13th of December, roughly. So, yeah, she's still in this little enclosure. We're going to work on getting her into the bigger enclosure either later today or tomorrow. She's probably not going to be happy that I'm moving her, but she will have more room. So, and she won't be in something clear plastic as it is right now. She's kind of huddled in there, and she's been there, and she's been in the little part that I kind of made a little tiny pre-made cave for her. She goes in there every now and then, but she seems to like it up top. So, again, Brachypelmapalooza, the Mexican flame leg, or Mexican red leg, right? The common names are killing me. Mexican fire leg, right? And then the Brachypelmapalooza is the Mexican red leg. So, yeah, I don't know why I don't know these common names. I just don't use them often enough to totally remember them. Yeah, sweetheart, I know. I startled you. So there she is in all her glory. Again, hopefully she will start to darken soon, and we will get a much bigger spider. So we definitely want to move her out of this into something new before she does get to that point where she's going to molt. Okay, so no matter what I do, I just struggle getting this one on film. This is the Brachypelma shorderi. We do believe is a male. He's been out and about a lot, especially at night. And actually was out the whole entire time I carried him out here to the kitchen. And then when I put him on the kitchen table, he went back down into his burrow. So he's not completely full grown yet. He does have, if he's a male, which we do believe, he'll have one more molt to go, I think. And hopefully he'll mature. If so, Allie and Jared, hey, I got it right, have a female ready to breed there at Pelt Friction. So we will definitely be sending him off to them. Either this molt or the next molt, whichever one it may be. So hopefully it's sooner than later, even though I'll hate to see him go. But it'll be really cool to have little tiny baby shorderis. So, Brachypelma shorderi. Okay, I'm planning filming in the kitchen is actually not that great of an idea. I'm holding the enclosure. This is the Brachypelma baumgarteni, which resembles the Brachypelma bamii quite a bit. The legs are pretty similar as far as coloration. I think there's a little bit more orange than there is red in this species, but they aren't easily distinguished between the two. So hopefully when this one matures, the one I sent my brother is a female, and she just molted. So hopefully when I'm there for Christmas, we'll get some good pictures of her. She should be really in good color. We'll do a Christmas video over there on Christmas Eve of all my brother's stuff too, so look forward to that. But yeah, Brachypelma baumgarteni, another species here at Eerie Arachnids. So Wagons is in here, right? So we have to get that cow ready. Okay, so the next one, as you can see, is my beautiful female Brachypelma vagans. I believe one of the most underrated tarantulas in the hobby. Because they're so easy, I guess they're easy to breed, and there's tons of them around, and they can be, quote unquote, apparently crossbred with other Brachypelmas, and you never know what you're going to get. But look at her. I mean, all her legs are completely black. She's got some whitish setae, a little bit of, not red at all, just whitish tipped setae on her legs. And that beautiful flame red rump of hers. She's got a voracious appetite. She will eat every time we feed her. She can be a tad bit nasty and will throw threat postures. As a matter of fact, when I rehoused her, putting her back into there, she threw some threat postures. So you could see she drug that little plant down into that burrow, which that's going to tick me off. It's going to agitate the crap out of me. So when I get her fed, hopefully the next time I feed her, I can get her to the other side of the enclosure and get that thing out of there. If she doesn't want it in there, I'll just take it out. But it was sitting up in the right-hand top corner of the enclosure there, just as a nice little decoration, just for some aesthetics. And apparently she didn't like the looks of it because she brought it in there, and not only did she bring it in there, but she flipped it upside down. So Brachypelma vagans, another species here at Eerie Arachnids of the Brachypelma genus. Okay, another one of the Mexican tarantulas. This is a Brachypelma Kallenbergi. You can see down inside there. I don't know if we can get it to come out or not, but this one's pretty feisty too. Surprising. See? Absolutely just mauling the tongs there, so we won't bother it too much. Has the same kind of reddish rump, has a little bit more red hair on the legs, especially legs 3 and 4 on both sides. A little bit lighter of a carapace than a Brachypelma vagans. This one we do believe is male also, but we're not, again, until I can get a good molt out of these guys at around the 2.5 inch mark. Sometimes they can fool you because of male accessory organs. Sometimes they'll fool you into being a female. Sometimes you won't see the spermatozoa develop without a microscope, really, early. So I've had one, I think, molt from this one here, and I do suspect it to be male. So we'll find out when it does molt what we actually are. We're going to get this guy out of here for sure. This is one that is on the top of the list. This one and the Sericopelma species bouquet are on the top of the list of getting out of this enclosure into something different. She will probably, or he will probably end up in one of those long enclosures you just saw out of the Brachypelma vagans. It'll be probably the same type of enclosure. So another Brachypelma species here. I think we have a couple left, right? The Homorii, the Albopilosum, and the Albiceps. I think that's all that's left. Okay, so this is our male. I wasn't expecting that. Male Brachypelma albopilosum. He's all curled up. So he is very shy when he is disturbed. Another one that doesn't like water. I just watered every single one of these Brachypelmas yesterday. And you can see where his water dish is. There he is. He's a gorgeous dude. He is the Nicaraguan form. I got him from Ruth at Mostly Reptiles at not last year's Buffalo show, but the year before. She surprised me with him, just this little tiny fuzz ball. I absolutely fell in love with him when she gave him to me, just because he was all curly and cute. But there's his water dish that was, again, filled up yesterday. Tried feeding him the other day. He didn't want to have anything to do with it, so I never know with him. He's a little bit less of a aggressive eater than the other one. Than my female is pretty much a more spot-on feeder than he is. He does like worms more than he likes other things, but he pretty much snubbed the worm the other day. So when he does, I generally wait 2 weeks after that and then try to feed him again. And generally after that he'll most likely take it. Excuse me. But if he doesn't, we go another 2 weeks. That way I know for sure when he does want to eat, he's ready. And he's not a pre-molt because he's not. You can see his abdomen is a beautiful size. It's a perfect size for him. So it's not like he's starving or actually needs to eat. So we're going to skip feeding him for, let's see, I tried the other day, so he won't feed again until right before Christmas time. Yeah, so let's move on. We're going to hit Obi, because Obi did eat the other day, so we're not going to feed him. But Brachypelmapalooza, the Nicaraguan curly hair. Okay, so there he is. Obi, he likes his little log there. I do want to add more substrate to over top of the log on the backside to make him feel a tad bit more secure. But last time I did, he dug it out because he does like to go out that side if he's threatened from this side. He likes to have that escape route, but we'll see. I do got to get some cleanup there because he did have a nice big roach. I see some wings over there in the corner. We'll get that all out and cleaned up and taken care of. You can see the wing right in front of him there. So yeah, if you followed my channel, the first tarantulas that I ordered were from Jamie's Tarantulas years ago, and it was for the kids for Christmas, and of course I ordered two for myself with money from my parents on a Black Friday kind of sale. I ended up getting an Armenia and my female Simultaneous Pulcher that we bred the other day. Not the one that you guys saw, but the first video that I saw. Or first video that you guys saw. So, but when I saw him, and I got this guy from Cody Wilson, when I saw this, and I was like, this is one that you have to have. I mean, it's an absolute necessity to have. So when I saw him, I definitely ordered. I think I got him in before I got the others, and just absolutely adore this guy. Him and I are friends for life. He's never going to go anywhere. We have the female for him if he does mature and we want to breed him. So, yeah, one of my absolute favorite tarantulas in my collection, for sentimental reasons. But yeah, Brachypelmapalooza, and this is Obi. Okay, so here is another of my Brachypelmapalooza. This one also has sentimental value. That's why it's still here, because I do have 3 of these, and I generally don't tend to have 3 of many tarantulas. I think it's just these and my Pteronachilus marinus tetes that I have 3 of. Anyway, this is Milagro. This is the one I got from NetBugs from Anastasia. It was in the winter, and it came in, and again, that was one that I thought for sure was passed away. The other 2 tarantulas that I got that day were perfectly fine. It was in a February, so it was not this February, last February. It might have been the February before. No, it might have been last February in 2017. Anyway, when I got it in, it wasn't moving. I was distraught. I was really, really sad because I wanted to get another one, and I had to go to work, and I was working second shift, so it might have been 2 years ago actually. So I put Obi into a little tiny enclosure, and wet it down, put it next to some heat, and when I came home from work, it was walking around. So I always say he was my miracle because he wasn't moving at all, period, not one bit. So that's why we named him Milagro. That name was given to me by a friend. It's Spanish for miracle, so or Milagro, it might be pronounced. I'm not really quite sure, but yes, there he is, or she is. I'm hoping this one's a female as well. It'll be cool to have raised a male and a female on your own of this species. So yeah, we have one more species to go that we have 2 of, and then we still have another Hamorai and another Albopilosum to show as well. Okay, so this is my female Brachypelma albopilosum Nicaraguan. So we will definitely get a pairing eventually when the male matures, but we're going to try and feed her because she hasn't eaten since she's been in this enclosure, and I would imagine that she's probably ready to eat, maybe. She's usually a really good eater. She's going to kind of prove me wrong here. Maybe not. She's going to get it. So I'm working with the lighting out here. Actually, my lighting in my room is better than the lighting out here, and that kind of saddens me because I'm not getting the good lighting that I want. And you can see that she's dark. Okay, now when she molts, I mean, she's brown. When she molts, she's much blacker, and her hair is much more defined. As they go through the molt cycle, these Nicaraguan tarantulas, they seem to darken down or even sometimes get that goldish look to them, or people always say, oh no, that's a Honduran. But no, this was definitely a, no, I didn't water her. This is definitely a Nicaraguan form, or Nicaraguan import, I should say. Okay, we got, I think, just 2 more tarantulas to show. Well, 3. Sorry, we have 3. We have Kevin. Let's get Kevin out. Alrighty, so there is Kevin. This is the male Brachypelmapalooza. This was another one I got from Ruth. This one was a trade, though, not actually a gift. I think this one came in with the Shore Dairy. And then the Brachypelma moderatum, I think. When I sent her my Harpactira pulchripes female. You hungry, Kevin? Probably not, huh? He didn't want to eat the other day, but since he's out, we'll try and feed him. Interested? He did this the other day too. He just kind of muddles around with it for a second and then just kind of shows his disinterest. So we'll save that for one of the other 2 that we have coming up next. So that's Kevin, the male Brachypelmapalooza, the Mexican golden red rump. I think if I remember, I'll go back through all of the ones I have at the very end of the video and try to remember their common names. Okay, guys, so here is my female Brachypelmapalooza. This was the one that Amy and Quentin sent me. So we're going to try and feed her real quick. Oops. That's going to be kind of hard because I got everything up against. See if she'll grab that. Hopefully she'll grab that. Yep, she'll grab it. She's been a pretty good eater. I don't feed her often, so like every other week at the most. I tend to try and stay on that schedule with some of my bigger tarantulas. Even my Lasiodora parabona I haven't fed in like 5 weeks. She just didn't want to eat the last time, so I kind of let her go. And the last time I opened up her enclosure, she was just full on threat posture. So I wasn't sure if she was getting close to molt, but I opened her up yesterday to give water to her, and she seemed fine. So we're going to try and feed her later today. Maybe we'll see how good the clip is. Maybe that could be a clip I could use if I advance after the first round of Fatal Fangs. But I did submit my Fatal Fangs video. I sent one in and I sent a second one. This second one I think is a little bit better than the first one. So hopefully it'll get me past Alex. But you might have already seen that. I don't know. Depending, no, because that won't come out. The Fatal Fangs will probably come out just after you're watching this video. Anyway, so yeah, Brachypelmapalooza female, and we have one last beautiful, gorgeous girl to go, and that was my wonderful gift from Ruth, the Brachypelma mori female. So a lot of my beautiful female Brachypelmas have been gifts, and then falling into luck the other day with the Brachypelma bamey. The Brachypelmapalooza was a confirmed female when I got her as well. So I'm hoping that some of these other ones, like the Baumgarteni, the Classy especially, end up female. The Shore Dairy most likely is male Kallenberg. And we'll go over all the ones at the very end. Let me get the our last Brachypelma species of the day. Okay, so I saved Constance for last, and there was a reason for that, because she hasn't been on film really since she molted, and I have fed her a couple times, but she's going to get fed again here. But I wanted to show you, if you remember when I first did this video, and it wasn't all that long ago. You can go back a couple weeks, I think maybe 3 or 4 or 5 weeks ago. I can't remember how long ago. But anyway, it was like 5 or 6 videos ago. It was the enclosure rebuild video that I did of her. And I said the way I set this up, I wasn't really quite sure. I made a pre-burrow right there for her. Well, she dug all the way back down into the very corner of the enclosure. So she likes to go down there when she's spooked, but she generally will stay up and out. She is generally a show spider, so she does hang out up top with me quite a bit. She is right next to the bed, so she kind of always faces me. Come on, dear, you want to come get this? Come on. Nope. I let go of the worm, so she's going to get it in there. Yeah, she'll bring it out. There is that beautiful, gorgeous girl with a nice, juicy... Oh, she's going to take it back in. Well, thanks anyway. She's got a nice, juicy super worm. And she's going way down there. But she's almost out of sight. But, so this piece of wood, I mean, when I envisioned this in here, when I first put it in here and I looked at it, I was like, oh, that'd be like a perfect, tunnel entrance. So I kind of sloped everything in order to make that work, and then I put that piece of cork bark underneath there just for structure. Now, she's pretty much as big as she's going to get, and she can climb in and out of that without absolutely no problem. She doesn't rub. I watched her abdomen. I don't overfeed the tarantula, so I don't really worry about her, you know, rubbing and getting any kind of sores on the inside there. She's got plenty of room. But it worked out perfectly, the way this worked out for me. So I'm really pleased, you know, aesthetically. I really like looking at her in this enclosure, even though she's another one that really enjoys to fill her water dish with dirt, as you can see here. Absolutely 100% filled. I've not seen her drink water, but I have seen her carrying dirt over to the water dish to fill it up. So let me fill this, and while we're doing that, I'll go over again the 11 species that I have. We'll try and do it alphabetically the best I can remember. Brachypelma albiceps, the Mexican golden red rump, Brachypelma albopilosum, the Honduran or Nicaraguan curly form or curly hair, Brachypelma auratum, the Mexican giant flame knee, Brachypelma baumgarteni, the Mexican orange beauty, I believe, Brachypelma baimi, the Mexican fire leg, Brachypelma amelia, the Mexican red leg, Brachypelma classy, the Mexican pink beauty, I think, or is it just Mexican pink? Brachypelma kallenbergi, I believe that's the New Mexican something or another. I don't remember that one, unfortunately. Sorry. Brachypelma sabulosum is another one I don't know the common name of at all. Brachypelma homorai, of course, is the Mexican red knee, as well as the Brachypelma smithy. Brachypelma schwarderi is the Mexican black velvet. What are we missing? Anybody? I didn't do them in order. Oh, Brachypelma vagans, of course, the Mexican red rump. Trying to look here who I have. I think that's all of them. Did I get 11? If I didn't and I missed one, I apologize. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. A little bit longer than I expected it to be, but you know, 11 brachypelmas is a lot to talk about. So I hope you guys look forward to tomorrow's video. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but again, it's day 10, so you probably won't see any tarantulas. Let's put it that way. You may, but odds are you won't. You'll get it when you see the video title. So have a great day and a great evening, and we'll see you all in tomorrow's video.